Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And as you can tell from the introduction, I am Jean Bam. And I've been working with dogs for a very, very long time. In case you're new to the channel, I have a pack of 8 dogs. One is a rehome, and the other 6 are rescues. They are of many different breeds and ages, as you can see from the intro. So today I want to show you something that has happened. This is about treat session. Now, most people don't think much about giving their dogs treats. It's not a big deal. You have the treat, give it to the dog gets happy, blah, 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 blah. But when you have this many dogs and you're giving treats, there has to be a sequence. There has to be a formula, because fights can really break out, and it can be a very dangerous situation. So I want to show you what I do, and towards the end, I'm going to explain to you how I go about teaching this. Okay, and it's not that difficult to teach, although it takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of time, and you have to follow the sequence, or else it may appear that everything is okay until it's not okay. All right, guys, thanks, and let's get on with today's video. Hey everyone, I am sitting here trying to have some snacks, some Ruffles, potato chips, and this is the guys right now, and I am going, in a moment, I'm going to invite them for a single potato chip. So here they are. They're just kind of laid out here on the floor. She knows that something's up. And yeah, you're right. Odie is missing. He is in his kennel right now. The reason is because when all the males are together, the fights break out. So this is the safest route to go with the dogs. And it took me a while to figure out exactly what was going on. Yes, Odie is a softer dog. But what ends up happening is when all the males are together, which I have 5 males, folks, 5. And when they're all together in a single room, Mr. Prince, right here, there he is. See how peaceful he is? Male, 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 okay? Prince thinks that he needs to hold down the fort and control movement and control the other dogs. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And so what ends up happening is that when Odie gets near, Prince kind of feels as though he needs to make sure that he's in charge of everything, and kind of like the whole male thing with young teenagers. Somebody's got to be the leader of the gang, okay? And it's not exactly that, because we are talking about dogs, but it's similar, all right? And what ends up happening is that if Odie blinks the wrong way or he flicks his ear the wrong way, Prince is on him, and a huge fight breaks out, and Princey does some serious damage. And then Bobo here, see, quiet, he joins in, Pup joins in, and a lot of serious damage takes place. And then I have to suture dogs up, I've got to deal with blood, I've got to deal with all kinds of stuff. So it's just easier if I prevent all of the males from being together all at once. Now, when it's just Odie and Prince, they play, they have a good time, they chase each other, they do a lot of play bowing, that sort of thing. And when I only have the females in there, there's no issue. Absolutely zero issue. I can go to sleep and not worry about it. But when the other males are available, whether it's Shay Dog, or let me show you Shay Dog right here in just a minute. Whether it's Shay Dog, hey baby, or this guy, there is a huge problem. It's almost as if Prince needs to feel as though, he's got this, when there is no this to be gotten. And unfortunately, Odie is the one that has some very severe injuries that happen. I've had to take him to the vet before. He's had his throat slashed. He lost part of his ear at one point, and I had to staple all that back together. He's got the white marks that you see along the side of his face and his neck and such. Those are caused by the fights. And honestly, I feel real bad about it, but it took me a while to figure out what was really going on. Now, as I said before, when the other males are not available, and it's just Prince with all the females, or just Prince alone with Odie, there is zero problem. And it is what it is, and so that's why Odie is not here with the group right now. I just wanted you guys to know that. Okay, so as I said a little bit earlier, I'm sitting here with some yummy potato chips. Now, as you can see, all the dogs are just quietly as such. Okay, so what is going to happen is I'm going to click my tongue, and this is the expression I'm going to be giving them. And then I will be looking at one particular dog, and they will know that they're the one that is supposed to be getting the treat first. And also I will give a simple nod like that, or I will blink at them like this. And those are all signals that I use for my dogs. All of these have everything to do with what is going on. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to click my tongue first, and most likely everybody will gather around me. And Peachy's already there. She knows what's going on long before anybody else does. Don't know what I'm going to do without her. She knows. It's almost like she has a sixth sense. She's more sensitive than any of my dogs, and she knows what's going to happen. I mean, before I even start to do anything, it's almost as if she can read my inner self. As you can see, I'm not really doing anything here right now. I'm just sitting here talking to you. And yet she's already up, and she's ready, because she knows something's going on. Don't ask me how she knows. When I figure it out, I will let you know. Okay, so let's start immediately with, I'm going to start with the tongue click, and then you guys can see what's going to happen, and then you will see everybody, hopefully, will join me. And I will let you know what I'm doing behind the camera. Okay, now what I'm about to do is open this up. They love potato chips. Who doesn't love a good potato chip? And now I'm going to look at, first I'm going to look directly at Shay, and I'm going to blink my eyes. And do note that no one else is trying to steal the food. Next, I'm going to look directly at Prince, and I'm going to blink my eyes as I demonstrated earlier. I'm going to show him the potato chip, and then I'm going to blink my eyes. As soon as they look at me directly. Okay, next. You can see Pop Up, he's like right up in there. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with Bubble. You're not allowed to have it until they look directly at me. Very good. Okay, again. Even if it's just momentarily, you got to really watch very, very close for this. Now, there's Daisy. And, okay, and here's Nikki. Once again. And I'm going to have her, need her to look directly at me. And as you can see, I blinked at her. And of course, then we have that beautiful Peachy dog right here. And I'm going to be doing the exact same thing with her. Okay. Do note that they're not rushing me. They're not jumping on me. They're not behaving crazy like. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call them by name. Prince. Daisy. Nick Nick. Note how gentle they take the food. And what is remarkable about this is that these dogs, before I got them, they were all starving, which means that they... Ready? Good job. Which basically means that it's been wired in their minds to get the food as fast as they can. Bobo. No, everybody's waiting patiently. Shay. Very good. Pop up. And Prince. I know you already had one, but I'll give you another one. Too much salt is not good for doggies. Okay, all doggies. Done. Move back now. Go. Done. Nick Nick. Done. Done. Good job. Sorry about that, guys. My hand was in front of the camera. This here is done. Just there. And they understand that. I use that in conjunction with any vocal command. And so they have a clear understanding. So it's clear. They can't mistake that for anything other than this is done. It means stop what you're doing. Enough. It's over. So I hold my hand like this. And I just do this back and forth motion. And I also have the one that's like that. That means quiet. I have a lot of hand gestures that I use with my dogs. And they're all quiet. Everything is quiet. They do not normally have any kind of vocalization behind them. It is strictly hand movements. And, oh, let me show you what the result was. See there? Look at that. And how often do you see something like that? They backed off. They did what they were supposed to do. It's quiet again. Now, if I were to click my tongue, everybody would be right back up here again, but I'm not going to do that because too many potato chips at the high sodium level is really, really bad for dogs. Their bodies are very sensitive to it. A little bit is okay. Too much can cause huge problems. And even though I'm moving the bag around, let me show you something. Papa will show some interest. He's just curious. Oh, that's the baby gate that I usually have sitting right over here to keep them from coming in here when I want to have a few moments for myself. Because, believe it or not, I actually like to watch TV now and then. So, there's Daisy. She's sitting over there quietly. And, of course, there's Shay. There's Peaches sitting on the sofa with me. Somebody got upset tummy, threw up, and there was puke running down the back of the couch. That's why we have this sheet on here for right now. And then, of course, they've managed to kick the blanket off on the floor. But what's new? Hey, it's a dog. It's a dog thing. And then in the back is Bo. There is Nikki, Pup, and again, there is Prince. I want to let you know this is all in real time. There is zero editing on this. Even if my hand being in the way of the camera, I'm not going to edit that out. I want you to see what is possible. You know, this is an entire pack of dogs. And you saw precisely what I did. I gave you all the information about what I was doing behind the camera. And as such, now how did I do this? Trust me, it was a long sequential process. First of all, these guys had to learn that they have to learn how to wait for their turn, which was very difficult for each one of them due to the fact that, well, they were starving when I first got them. And the way nature is you need to get while you have a chance to get it. So there was a lot of fighting that went on. There was a lot of pushing and shoving and snapping, trying to get the food before somebody else got it. That took some time. to excuse me, to help them understand that they will get some food. They just have to wait. That was very, very hard for them to learn as individuals. And then when you have all these dogs together, of course, that's even going to be a higher level of intensity. So I began with just teaching them to wait individually for the food. And then one by one, I started bringing in the softer dogs. And eventually the entire pack, as you saw, was able to do this. The next level was is that they needed to learn not to grab at the food. They needed to learn to tolerate such close proximity when it involved food. That is extremely difficult for dogs to learn. It's their natural predilection is to get in there and get it. Uh, and you don't want somebody touching you. That's not like a normal thing most dogs do. You know, they have very specific reasons why they touch one another. And when food is involved, that's not one of them. You know, that is just a setup for fights. So your dogs may be fine if you have more than one dog and you're doing this. Your dogs may be fine for a while and suddenly the fight is on. This is why it's extremely important to make sure that if you're going to attempt this, you are the one that controls the food. If they try to snap at it, stop it right then and there. They are not allowed to snap at the food. And also, my dogs had to learn what my visual cues were. Looking directly at them, they had to learn to focus on me rather than the food. That was also very, very difficult for them. It's normally a dog will look at the food rather than the person. And then they had to understand what my blinks were and my facial expressions, the head nod. They had to understand how that worked throughout the day. So that was a big deal to teach them. But once they figured it out, it went very quickly. And the other thing is they had to clearly understand what the done thing meant. That means all finished, go away, leave me alone, go lay down. Under these circumstances, under different circumstances, it just simply means stop what you're doing. And so for them to understand this, they had to learn to differentiate what all of this was about. So, like for example, if they're barking in the bedroom, and I give them a moment to bark, to alert, do their thing, and then I tell them done, and I give them the hand signal, done, and they know that they need to stop barking. It's simple. Sometimes we have a little carryover, which is usually pup, and Odie, but it does happen. But the thing I'm really going after is the fact that they stop barking. Okay, they need to have that last opinion. Unlike most people, I do allow my dogs to have an opinion. I allow them to voice what they feel. I allow them to growl, as long as it's not an aggressive growl, as long as it's about a growl that says, please stop doing that. I'm not okay with what you're doing. I am not in a good mood right now. Please back off. And I allow it to happen. And 95% of the time I respect that, but they also understand that sometimes I need to get in and do whatever it is I need to do. Now, when it comes to Odie, for example, when he's growling, he tends to become unstable, and he's very likely to bite. So I make sure I am very respectful of him and his needs. Odie is a Borbal and American Pit Bull cross. He is also a dog that had Parvo as a puppy, and he hadn't had any previous training. So this sounds very strange, but he actually had to learn how to learn. And you would think, well, everybody knows how to learn. No, actually, they don't. My many years of working in special ed and working with my own daughter, who was born prematurely, taught me that people aren't born knowing how to learn things. They have to actually learn how to learn. They have to learn how to focus. They have to learn how to be still. They have to learn how to pay attention. They have to learn to process the information that comes in. So with that in mind, as I said, Odie did not have those skills at the time. He had to learn how to learn. So it takes him a little longer. And because he was a Parvo puppy, he had a very high temperatures, and I honestly believe that that affected his brain and his ability to learn. And so he would be special ed. He has a heart of gold. He's huge, huge heart, but it takes him longer to figure stuff out. It takes him longer to process information. And unfortunately, Prince is like a Formula One car. You know, the information comes in and he's processed it. He is more like he is like a modern supercomputer next to Odie. It's not that Odie is dumb. He's not stupid by any means. It just takes him longer to figure stuff out. And once he figures it out, he's got it. You know, and he's very, very good about retaining the information once it is, you know, processed. But it's just getting the process working. He's kind of like a Pentium 3 computer. Okay, he's very, very slow processing by comparison of what our computers are today. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to give you a little bit of that. I know this is kind of a long video, but I really wanted to share this with you and give you information about how I went about teaching this. I don't know whether or not I'm going to be able to break it down very much, but basically here are the steps. I'll go over it one more time with you. First of all, individually, each dog has to learn that you control the food. Each dog needs to learn that you're not going to tease them or take the food away. That if they are weight, they learn patience. Again, keyword learn. They learn patience, then they get some food. And a lot of dogs are very food driven. I have a couple of dogs here that are not. But Odie, for example, is crazy food driven. So this was particularly difficult for him. Okay. And then once they learn that, they have to learn how to be calm and quiet and just wait. Okay, those are actually two different steps. And once they got that down as individuals, then we moved on to slowly we moved on to having to wait a little longer. That worked into when the whole pack is together and them having to wait their turn. Okay, so I began with a 3-second wait. 1, 2, 3, and then I gave them whatever the treat might have been. And then we went to the next. Once the dog figured that out and understood clearly that they were going to get the treat, then we went to 5 seconds. And then we went to 7 and then 10. And then I would make them wait for 15 seconds for it. And then we worked our way all the way to 30 seconds. Okay, because that's generally the amount of time that takes for me to get through all of the pack. Okay. And then after all of that happened, and they got that down very, very well, then I started bringing in one dog at a time. And that dog, the new dog, would learn from the previous dog. And then from there, we did the same process, exact process. Each one of them had gone through this. But I need to start bringing them in as a pack. Okay, I'm sure it's probably nothing out there, but they've seen something. I'm going to let it out. Let me show you what I do regarding the barking. Pop, pop. Good job. Good look. Good job. Ready. Okay. Pop up. Ready? Done. That's what I was talking about. I allow them to bark to alert me. They're doing their job. Now we have Prince over there. He's watching. Good looking. Good look, dog. Good look. Woof. Done. Very good. And as you can see, they are fully aware of what I am saying to them. I don't know if you can see this, but we do have the whole jungle out there. It could be anything. It could be a pig. It could be somebody moving around in the jungle. It could be anything. I don't want them to stop barking. I don't want them to be quiet. What I want them to do is to alert me. That is their job. That's a very important job, especially living out here. We need to make sure that all the intruders know, whether it's ant or whatever. Okay. Pop up. Pop. Done. Good job. Daisy. Done. Mama, look. Okay. Let me look outside. Okay. See there? I'm looking. Yes. It's okay. Outside, okay. Good job. All right, and done. Do note the way I'm communicating with these guys. Good work. Good woof, dogs. Good woof. Good look. Good woof. I am not exaggerating, folks. This is how I help communicate, well, how I communicate and how I control my pet. It's communication. This is part of the dog ease that I talk about in my book. Unfortunately, right now, this is human speech, which normally I don't use a whole lot of, but they do have a pretty good grasp of some very basic words that I use. Most of it is all gesture and dog ease. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you next time here on Master Matriarchs Canines. Oh, and as always, hopefully you'll like and subscribe and let me know what you think below.